my camera is my camera. What the fuck? Sorry, guys. My apologies. I did not get on. Because as you all know, there's a lot going on with my family right now. And I am not where any of them are. But with all the medical issues that are happening, I am the one with the most information and informed. So people call me. Everybody does. Everybody does in my family. To run things by, process what's going on, that kind of stuff. And we have a whole boomer generation that's got a lot going on. So so my apologies. I know I said that I'd be here like I don't go out. Why? Look at what is going on. Like I don't even look like myself in the fucking camera, but whatever. Wow. Anyways, so I feel disheveled. Welcome to my world. Every time I sit down, they go, "You haven't found the book." I'm supposed to find the book. I feel like they're talking to me like I would my teenager. I'm like, "Look, dude, if I say one more time, if I tell you one more time." Okay, it's coffee and tarot today, guys. Middle of the week ish. Correct? I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. And that means it's coffee and tarot. So let me explain. We come to the table or the desk or wherever we're at, and we let spirit take the reins. That means we don't come in with any questions, parameters, time frames. We don't place any kind of boundaries on this reading. Spirit gets to come to the table and have a conversation with us about whatever spirit wants to talk about. And sometimes spirit has a lot to say. Now, the beginning of the week we did some readings live, and hello. Oh hey, how are you? I had to do it in 2 parts because YouTube be acting up, and it was an exceptionally good reading. I am going to post a couple more readings that I've done. I'm going to upload them that have something to do with it, but it was really just talking to a masculine and acknowledging you are a good and honorable man. So, and it said that because the masculine in this kept saying, am I a good man? Like that was something they were saying to themselves. So that's the reason why we went there. Anywho, so I don't know where this is going to go, guys. I will say I didn't get to do much preemptively just before I got on because I was on the phone, like I said. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Okay. First and foremost, you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation to you is never Cinderella shit to make a fit. I know, woman. I can tell. I see your name. I see your name. Sorry, I got to get myself together. All right. So grab your tea, your lemon water, your coffee, whatever it is, settle in, and we're going to see what the message is for today. We're going to start with Secret Tarot. There are a lot of changes that are happening right now. Okay, so you know, on a macro level and a meta level, there's a lot going on across the globe. But remember, a lot of our micro meso levels of existence are going to be reflecting that as well. So it's almost like things that are happening, they're happening in all of the layers. So some of the things that I might talk about will sound similar to what might be going on collectively, like at a large scale. But it's also it's like an echo through each of the levels. So it's happening in your life on a personal level too. The way that I'm seeing this is they're giving me fall. definitely going to have some more changes. Now we know that the first 6 months of the year, they kept giving me the mass exodus and the rearrangement and the location changes. I do see some of those still trickling on. Again, it would have started in the first 6 months. It may, and I did warn you all, certain individuals may take time to have everything aligned, but they've made the decision. They've figured out where they want to go, that kind of stuff. Um, I do see a lot of shake up energy happening in fall. Um, Also, things happening where you're like, "Are you kidding me?" Like inopportune times. Like there's going to be a lot of quote unquote inopportune times, and it's like it's actually the right time. A lot will be birthed out of chaos. That is where you find divinity. Okay, divine exists within chaos. The clear cut, black and white, all that kind of stuff. That's a human. That's the human perspective. That's what humans like, want, desire, and try to. That's why we try to fit everything into these boxes. The divine doesn't exist there. So there's going to be things happening, like let's say shit show going on a global scale, like in your country. There's a lot of countries that are going through. They're having their own Nepal moment. Okay. Um, wouldn't seem like the time to find love. But remember, in this financial and spiritual evolution that's happening, our safety net is going to be our community and those that we connect with. So that's how we get through. That is how we get through. This is also the reason why a lot of people are being pulled out of their hermit mode and the proverbial boot to the ass kind of situation. Like if you're not, then you're going to be forced. And remember, it's always it's a more pleasurable event if you just get in the mode of saying yes to the universe. Once you resist, it'll be a shock to the system. It's not going to be as fun. We have the Chariot with the Two of Wands, which is a need to take moves, to take action. Let's see what's. Yep, Eight of Cups. Moving on. There is. Hold on, the energy's fast. I feel like somebody's life has been set up in such a way at this point that the idea of leaving the past behind seems laughable because you're like, where's the past? Um, where is it even? Like everything's already been removed. It's not so much things being taken out of your life as it is now you moving. You taking action and making moves that again, I know I brought up location change for a reason, but that's not the only way, guys. That's okay. It says new situations, places, things like that. Everything was pulled away. So they're giving me ground zero. Everything was pulled away because we have the Six Cups that are still standing up right there, correct? That's and the Six of Cups talks about history, the past, nostalgia. So that's what it is. It is you moving away from the nostalgia of something, meaning everything's already been stripped. Nothing from the past is still there, except for I don't even say there's no attachment from you. It's that proverbial standing at the cliff's edge, about to jump off, and you take one last look back. Um, I would say with the nostalgia is some level of comfortability in the familiarity. So we're gonna change. Okay, we're gonna change nostalgia to familiarity. You have to walk out of the familiar um, in order to be aligned with something. I am. This is Secret Tarot. It used to be called Renaissance Tarot. But they changed the name. I don't know why, because I feel like Renaissance is so much better. But okay. Mm. And the Eight of Cups is about leaving something that was once fulfilling, something that was once what you thought you desired, that brought you happiness but no longer serves you, right? And so you're now moving to the Nine of Cups, to your true, genuine wish fulfillment, to what would really make you content and happy inside. Um, it's not where you are. So this tells me that there is going to be some level of actual walking away from something. I don't care if it's a job, a profession. I do definitely get location. This has been a massive theme in 2025. With everything that's going on, it is a massive thing. Like, it's almost like giving you the reason to make the change. Like, it's, you know, I'm getting the energy of there's a difference in telling people, like, I don't know, just something's off. I've got to do this. And them not understanding because what they see just seems so perfect or it's just great to current circumstances being such that where it's so self evident. There's something about it being so self evident. Like a person would have to be immensely dense to think that you need to stay in whatever kind of situation or circumstance. So, again, comfortable with the familiar. There's something familiar about the past, but there's also nothing anchoring you to it. And what I would say is the environment in which you exist is only fueling your desire to make moves, to actually take action. So I'm getting like the wand suit, like to actually do something instead of just think of it or play in the field of possibilities and you may have been in a like toying with things as potentialities but never really taking any and they're showing me okay so they're going fast guys so we're they're showing me tipping tipping fuck dipping the tip of your toe into the water like how we pretend like we're taking action we're really not. And this is no offense because this is an important factor. You know how like sometimes we're like, okay, I'll at least start looking where I want to go. I'll at least start blah 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 blah. It's like, okay. And sometimes we convince ourselves that's us taking the action and now the universe will bring everything. And it's like there's something about no, these are bold actions that completely sever you from the familiar. See, you were doing all of this while still sitting in the familiar. So there's a change that's happening. There's a level well no shit there's a level of strength because this isn't going to be necessarily easy. I don't get that this is going to be hard, but it's a lot pulling on your energy and I feel there's a lot to get done to do this. It isn't just one wand. I'm taking action. One solid there's a lot like I feel like it's like a sequential like I do this and then this and this and this and this and it's a lot of tasks, a lot of things pulling on your energy, a lot of going a lot of directions. But if we're at ground zero then you are completely starting over and I've had this conversation here recently with some people in my life about really what that looks like. And when you finally reach ground zero you feel like you're asking the universe to help you with damn near everything like you're some kind of invalid, you're this infant. You are like you can be like I don't even know where to start. I don't there's so many things. There's so many direct because thought so many times you were at ground zero, that you were at the beginning again. You know, when they say that slate is wiped clean, it is a lot when the slate is wiped clean. It's almost like it's not almost, everything has to be done. Everything is starting over. I heard, I'm just a baby. It's like, but you're the fool who's already been through the fool's journey once. That may not feel like a lot of consolation right now, but I promise you, you will not make some of the same dumb ass mistakes you have before. Okay. I thought I was hearing music. I'm hearing music in the background. I thought it was my phone because I listen to music when I'm dropping the kids off and stuff, and I'm like, um, this time, see, before you would ask a lot of questions when you first embarked on the fool's journey, and you would take pointers and you'd look at other people and their situations and scenarios, and you would do, and you would gather what to do from those around you because you had no experience. This time, the idea of the strength card is honoring the unicorn, honoring your uniqueness, honoring your authentic self, you, like doing the thing that either seems impossible or going for the thing that traditional viewpoints, um, cultural norms would say not to do. Like it is uniquely your path now, is what they're saying. It is uniquely your path because it's unfettered. That was also part of it, of pulling things away. In fact, you may have felt like you were in a position where like shit's been gone for a while. Why the fuck am I not moving? Like when I say they stripped you and then you had to calibrate to nothingness, when you used to fill that nothingness with things from other people, like there's none of that. There's no noise. There's no, except for that which echoes in your own brain. Okay. um and so if everything is gone, I think that's also part of why there's something about the chaos of your environment, of so many things seemingly just like what the external to you, that makes it easy to move. When you are within a rigid system, you have very set pathways and methods and things like that. But the current state of where you are, your existence, that chaos is helping to make new pathways, helping you to cut through and get shortcuts, helping you to move faster actually. But it is, I mean, it does still require strength. Because in the process of having gone through the fool's journey with the advice and the direction and the constant external validation of others and using other people's as experiences, like you learned where your voice was in all of that. You absolutely know what you would do differently, even if you feel like you don't know what you should do. And there you are more comfortable within yourself. If there's ever a familiarity or a comfortability that you should hold on to, that is that. That is who you truly are. You should, that is the only sense, but that travels with you. See, you have been rooted in the familiarity. That's why they want to use familiarity, of that which is around you and surrounds you. Okay. So we are at ground zero. There is so much to do. Um, Yet it's going to be easier. So it may feel a bit chaotic, but again, that's where the divine exists. They've been waiting for you to show up, and now they're ready to help you through. They will not do it for you. They will help you. Remember, they're the co-pilot. We do have the Page of Cups. Let me pull. This is the discovery of the out. Five of Cups. Now, generally speaking, in other cards, they're staring at the 3 cups that are still spilled. All the things in the environment that's happening globally, that's happening personally, that's just not like what the fuck. Like their current environment, that's what the 3 of cups talks about. The things and people that surround you, those they've been down. You've spent your time there. You're no longer focusing on that. You have actually turned around and saw the 2 cups. One, you spent the time, your cup is full, but you see something to align with. That is this proverbial cup that comes in. Now, we're not going to go to, oh, it's love, because something that's fulfilling, as described in the Page of Cups that comes to you, um, that could just be the fulfilling life that you're meant to walk towards, right? Um, but you're gonna see it. You're about to see it. And that's how that when you see it, because again, you're fine, you're calibrated, you're in the position of your cup is full, you're doing well, but um you are comfortable within who you are and you own who you are. You finally see the other cup comes in, you're gonna know the path to take. Okay? That takes you and completely severs you away from the familiarity. So I find it funny that they keep saying that you're walking away from familiarity instead of saying you're going into the unfamiliar, because that's triggering. But there's something empowering in wording it like you're leaving the familiar. Okay. Tell me about the Page of Cups, please. Well, there's the Chariot that we saw, Knight of Cups. Give me a second. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the incessant reference to like a soul connection. Because on this Page of Cups, we do have the seahorses. Eight of Cups, we have the 2 cups. The 5 of Cups, we have the 2 cups. And then on the Knight of Cups, again, we have the seahorses. This could be soul family or, yeah, soul family. Because they're like, either way, it's soul family. If this is a soul connection that you're meant to come into, romantically speaking, it's still soul family. Um, and they want to differentiate soul family from a soulmate. I mean, soulmates can just come in and teach us a lesson. And like some people always want to assume that a soulmate is forever, or that um they're talking about soul family. And we have the conch shells on the Knight of Cups. I don't know why you may be a little resistant to it, because I feel like I don't want to hone in on romance or love. Um, there's something spiritually and emotionally rewarding that's coming in, and you know you align with. But as with the Page of Cups, there's usually fish that pops out. So this is also something that's like materially beneficial as well for you. Chariot is the idea and notion of everything finally being in alignment. Now, some people like to, friendly reminder, when we're talking about major arcana talks about the overall energy. If you want details, you go to the minor. The minor arcana tells you about speed. But a lot of people want to attribute speed to the chariot, which is not necessarily so. The idea behind the chariot is once these two sphinxes, horses, whatever it is that's on the card, are in alignment, when they are ready to move forward is when they're in alignment, right? If they're facing two different directions, you're not fucking going nowhere. As with a chariot in Roman times, if that which was leading you and it was trying to take you in two different directions, you would crash. You would not succeed. You would not win. Okay. Um, and they're showing me how uh there's something about, I don't even know if this is true, guys, but they're showing me a chariot being pulled by one horse, and they're like, that actually creates instability within the chariot, within the thing. And that's the reason why when it hits a certain, like, it's easier to flip, it's less stable, it's unstable with one. I don't even know if that's actually fucking true, y'all. But that's what they're giving me. The idea of moving into, like, the connections that are needing to be made because there's stability within that. Security, higher probability for success. Um, but the reason why it can sometimes seem fast for the chariot is that because before, when the sphinxes, horses, whatever there is, are not on the same page, you're going nowhere. Once things are in alignment, the level of forward movement that's instantaneous, again, can seem overwhelming. Everything all at once, right? And so the idea behind this is that I always call it the chariot my rhino spirit card. It has the essence of the rhinoceros, where move, bitch, get out the way. Like, the if you think for a moment, a rhino is going to step around you. Why? The level of force and inertia that they have, they'll remove you. Like, obstacles jump out of the way because of the level of, you know what I'm saying? And so it's one of that's what I'm getting. The momentum that has been needed, and maybe that's also part of whatever I have been released from the past, and there's this acclimation that's occurred, is because, like the pressure cooker, pressure had to build up, um, in order to push things forward. So they're also showing me the train with, like a, the wood burning, they have, or the steam train, um, like that propels it forward. So whatever this is, it's exceptionally quick, or it feels quick because of how long something was left. Okay. Um, and it will give the appearance of, well, it is ease, is what they're saying. There's going to be a lot of ease. So despite having, you're like, oh my God, I'm starting over in every facet of life. In, like, the list is endless, and I feel almost like, how the hell did I get here? Like, there's not a single thing. Again, people will always assume, okay, that when tarot readers or anybody, any spiritualist is talking about this, that it's just removal of people. You may even be like, I've got zero in my bank account. I have debt up the wazoo. I don't even have my own vehicle. I don't even have clothing that I haven't bought in 4 or 5. I only have 3 outfits. I only have, like, it's like, how am I starting over? Because where do you begin? Where do you begin? Well, you're about to be shown where to begin. The first move. That's the page of cups. And that's the thing to align with. Um, I gotta clarify. I don't care. That Knight of Cups is screaming a lot of energy at me, and I'm like, Something that would see okay, I got it. As soon as I pick up the damn cards. As something that seems like it should take. Remember we talked about the chariot where it's like it's not necessarily the speed. It just seems, but then again it is because everything goes from nothing to everything. Like it's you know what I'm saying? The level of forward movement is just but it also gives the energy of so much had to happen prior for these things to be in alignment. So, what most people would be doing at the beginning of, say, coming together with with somebody, you've already taken care of. I feel like each party has already taken care of. So you're coming at it with like a full, authentic, clear, transparent energy and presence. And so, of course, we know exactly which way to go. Of course, we know this is something that needs to happen. Of course, we know we're in it together. You know right away. It's almost instantaneous. Again, because of what most people would be, again, the idea of people think that they've let everything go and they really haven't. And they think because they're isolated and there's just no people that they've let like what more could is like do you really want to know? Because this is the realm of emotions and your spiritual realm. So there's been a lot of shadow work. There's been a lot of maybe this place holding was to strip things out of your beingness, out of your essence, out of your subconscious. Like there's just so much that's how you ended up with the full cup, with being so comfortable with who you are, because you were left with nothing but you at the end of your first fool's journey. Okay, and so this feels like something has the appearance of happening really quickly. And the only reason it's moving faster is because of the pre work that was done prior to this. When everything's been stripped from you and you're ready and you're just walking away from what's familiar, you don't have anything anchoring you, weighing you down, holding you back as opposed to others. Even think very logically, like, even with a move. Like, there's some people who there's a lady on TikTok, she's in Australia, and she's like, I don't even know where I'm going." Um, her name is Jessie, if you wanna find her, Jessie D. But, like, she's like she has already purged her fucking house. She's still got, like, 18 days left. Her lease is up. She's like, "My body knows I'm going," like, she has taken care like, could you imagine? Imagine those who get an opportunity and they're like, "Oh, shit," and they still have stuff to do. It bogs down the process, makes it seem more exhausting, less enjoyable, but also it slows the process down. There's still ties to. There's something about I can get up and go, period, with this energy. I am so done with whatever. And so, whatever this cup is, the speed at which something propels forward with this, others might say, would have said something. But again, remember the level of chaos that's happening makes everybody go, "No, I get it, do it." And I don't even feel like you have necessarily anybody that you would turn to ask, but there's this thing of like no resistance from your environment for doing such. And no one of consequence is what they're saying, that if they had an opinion of how quickly this develops, they wouldn't say I mean, they're no one of consequence. So when this comes together, it's almost like what something presents as is more serious and more involved and more permanent and than what first presented. So my what I'm getting is From initial contact, the level of progression that this takes is pretty intense. If it were a job, it would be like you get brought in on one thing and they're like, we immediately like you're exactly something that they needed and they put you in a different position of higher, like there's just something where it it propels, it ascends and propels forward really, really quickly. Now, this is love. Obviously, this is something where two people come together. It's reminding me of those individuals who like knew after 2 months and then like lived the rest of their lives together. They didn't bring anything else but each other to the table with pure integrity and clarity and a knowing. And so when you showed up, what you saw is what you got. There was nothing bogging them down. There was no past. There was no ties to environments. There was no voices in their life that were filling them full of whatevers. There was no ties to traditional ways of doing something. Like when I say you've been stripped, you've been stripped. You have no allegiance to anything but yourself. That's the fucking title. That's a title. Please don't let me forget that. No allegiance to anything but yourself until this shows up. And your future, no matter what it is, whether it's a community that you build, even like a career path that you choose to go down, your success in this transitional period of Earth will hinge on the connections that you have, whether you fucking like it or not. And if that triggers you, this reading is not for you. You're not ready. You're not in this position. Okay, let's get going. Ooh, I love it. This is real. This is like a very what starts out as a recognition of I align with that resonates with me. I know some people don't like these words, but like it the Page of Cups is I find I'm a I want to word this right. There's a level of joy and love. Like it's heart. There we go. Your heart connects to something first. Okay? Your heart okay, thank you. Your heart recognizes something first before your brain does. And it will bring you joy and contentment and true peace within. Because they're showing me the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups, while it's a wish fulfillment, it's about true, genuine, sincere contentment within. Which is usually what you wish for, right? But then it's the idea that there is a tangibility that comes along with this, but it's trustworthy. It's something that can be trusted. It's secure. The Knight of Pentacles. Again, the idea is the appearance. Okay. I always say the Knight of Pentacles is the minor arcana to the Chariot. There's a couple other cards, but reason being, again, I don't subscribe to this being a slow energy. The Knight of Pentacles is in integrity with himself. He is the epitome of integrity. What is integrity? Words, actions, and energy all match. There's a level of transparency. Now, sometimes, are you going to take a slower pace for the sake of being in integrity with yourself or in integrity with the situation or in integrity with the person? Yes. But does that automatically mean slow? No. It could be a level of speed, like what it took, the commitment to get to the place of integrity, to get to this place where you are comfortable with the self, well rooted in the self, knowing exactly who you are, maybe. But that doesn't indicate future speed. This is more about the energy and the intent that fuels what's happening than it is about the speed. But we do know sometimes because of the world and the things that we absorb and because of how we've been programmed to get to this point that can take some time. Sure. But imagine two individuals or two situations of an individual and a circumstance both showing up in this energy. There's an immediacy about that then. That's why I say with the Knight of Pentacles, it's not about speed. Again, as with Chariot, there can be an appearance of something. Like you can think this took so long to get here. I've waited so long for this. But when it happens in the moment that something aligns, it feels instantaneous, sudden, unexpected. And we have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is the battle-worn soldier that comes in with victory. He's on the heels of the Five of Wands. I feel like saying, if you trust this, that's what the Knight of Pentacles is saying. Trust what's before you. Show up in integrity. It will show up in integrity with you. And you will be victorious. Despite all of this. Okay. Let's switch decks. Give me some of my drink. When I say Starman Tarot has been the star here recently, it really has. No allegiance, that's right. That puts you in a very open space, though, because you're going to that puts you in a place of an allowance because you're going to accept and welcome in that which aligns with you because your allegiance is with you. So anything that feeds you, you will accept because you're choosing things this time around solely based on you. I'm gonna put these back. These don't feel. I feel like that just all kind of. Sometimes they'll give me a card that's blank, like there's nothing on it. But when I have multiple cards that feel just like there's no energy to it at all, it just feels blank. That's an indication for me to put it back. It wasn't supposed to come out like that. Seven Pentacles, a reference to things having not yet developed in your reality. Seven Pentacles is seeds well planted, unnecessary worry. It's the idea of creating the garden and not really knowing how long something's going to take and having to wait because once you've planted the seeds, you can't really do anything to cultivate or help grow something until it breaks ground, right? So Seven Pentacles. But it's, again, remember I said the most inopportune time? And I was like, something just happens at the most inopportune time. Like you're thinking, like, this is not the time. Look at this rose. That is the most inopportune environment, period. And it still manages to break ground. Like, look, it's a desert. It's a desert. So this is coming in at a point where it feels like when everything has been stripped, you would assume, conventionally thinking, that I should probably focus on these before this. And you're wondering how this cup is the ignition switch to starting everything. How, if this is love, it's like, how can I build love when I have like two outfits in here and I have like no money in my bank account? And how is that even possible? And then the conventional thinking is, the idea is the probability of that working, because of all the things, all the pressures. But I feel like whatever this is also coming out from your, like, whatever is aligning with you is also emerging brand spanking new with a clean slate. If it was a job, it would not be a place that is well established. Let's just take a look at the world right now. There's very few companies that are in a stable position. Everybody's slapping tariffs. Everybody's doing like there's no real guarantee with anything. And if this is a person and you meet this person, even if they have money now, they feel so exceptionally vulnerable, like I have no guarantees in life because the circumstances of the world have made it in such a capacity that at any given moment, like they don't feel like they have anything on lockdown or secure. Any given moment, it can all be ripped away. So they're looking at the paths before them, like they're not like the only thing they can be well rooted in is themselves also. So their life, even if they may, you know, in some form or appearance seem like they have something that you don't, they are looking at what's in front of them with the same clear slate and no guarantee like you are. The seeds for this coming together or this alignment have already been planted. And again, it is popping up at the most like what seems like the most inopportune time. So this could be a job offer in an area that you're like, oh shit, I don't know if I should go. Things seem unstable there, or in a field that seems unstable, or in a, you know what I mean? It's like it could be a company having to refigure itself out. For example, insurance is not like we have medical insurance in the United States. We have companies that are usually a medical insurance provider that are changing their status to like more like medical services, so like in-home services for the elderly and things like that, because they see the future of insurance being bleak, and they have been able to see it for some time, meaning that between the push for universal health care, but also right now currently in the United States, there's a push to triple insurance premiums. Guess what's going to happen if that happens? People are going to quit carrying insurance, and these companies will go belly up. They are looking at their future like nothing is certain. So that may be something that you, if this is in reference to a job that's aligning with you, it's going to look like we don't know. But the chaos is where something great is born. A new path is forged. Okay. But for those where obviously there is a major emphasis on love, actually where I am, just got my last paycheck, and that's all I have until I find my next. Woo wee! I understand. Um, And that is true because this is something where you are leaving the familiar. And I keep getting it is your environment in one form or fashion. So for some of you, this is going to also be like a location change, especially with a chariot. That's talking about a move. Um, but that one little move turns into so much more because it goes from the page to the night. Some days the readings are long, y'all. That's how Coffee and Tarot goes. Whatever is about to sprout is definitely, again, same with the page, going to lead to both material and emotional stability and longevity and security. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. It's going to be more in alignment with your legacy than anything. My neck, my shoulder has been giving me issues. Seven of Wands. Hold on. Let's see what this is about. Again, back to the idea of doing things for you. So this is giving the energy of when we get into the space of I'm just making decisions that are right and true for me, no longer with the idea of like I've got to rely on that I'm doing this from scratch because I know me now. That's the difference. I know me. And so I don't need the references that are external to me to help guide me. I don't need the people giving me their information. I'm not going to look at other people's situations. So don't come at me with, well, so and so did that and this. I don't give a shit. They ain't me. I know me. I'm leading with my heart. Seven of Wands. I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing in my power, and I am doing things according to how I want to do them. I know my boundaries, and the only person that enforces my boundaries are me. Me. This is the fucking me card. The Seven of Wands. Look at how this person is standing on their own little pedestal. It's about me. So this is take a selfish approach. If in the past, the way that you move, society, people, or even you, the old you, would have said, that's so selfish. Be selfish. What's at stake is the Ten of Pentacles. Be selfish. What do you want? So, oh, it's like the distance, the location, the timing of things, how quickly something moves. None of those should be factors. What do you fucking want? What's good for you? Okay, then do that. Again, we have the Page of Cups coming back out again with the Nine of Wands. You need to almost, Nine of Wands can be that defensive energy, like being on a stance, like ready to, and that's how you need to be about this Page of Cups. You need to be willing to fight for it. You need to be on the defense for it. Seven of Wands can also talk about standing up for your beliefs, standing up for what you believe is right and doing and moving in that direction, right? That's how you move. But there's also this sense of sometimes the Nine of Wands is like the protective energy. You need to be protective of this Page of Cups. Because it's the thing that keeps that it has only shown up because you are in the Seven of Wands energy, because you know who you are, because you're strong within who you are. Again, at this point, and I don't care, like listen to me. If you have children, this is the moment where you would go, what's good for me is good for them. You could riddle yourself with, oh, but what about all of these things for them? And what about all of those things for them? The number one indicator of success for a child in the future is the stability, security, and sanity of their parent. The You should be the epitome of a decision. Anything else, Spirit? I feel some confusion around this new start because we have the Seven of Cups. Again, Seven of Cups can be like there's so many ways that you could go about something. When the slate is clean, it's almost like anything is possible, and that might create apprehension around a new beginning. But this shows up. It's like the cup that sticks out kind of thing. The only confusion I feel like you're going to have, or that you have right now, before this thing shows up, confusion around this new beginning is Five of Pentacles, material concerns. Definitely something you feel like you lack that right now you're like, I would need. And it can absolutely lend itself to, I mean, of all the examples I was giving, like, I don't even have like a pot to piss in kind of thing. How is this going to happen now? Especially with love. You're looking at what you don't have materially, resource wise, money wise. And you're like, right now, this is where you're at. You're like, I don't know how that's going to happen. But what Spirit sees is you being the Empress. There's something exceptionally fertile about you. And remember, the idea is when things are in so much flux and chaos, that's where something is birthed. When everything is in a like feels like it's looking right, there's too much structure. They're giving me the birth canal. When you are walking around as a regular human being, female, um, without all the changes that happen during your pregnancy, you could not push something out of your birth canal. There are things that occur during the pregnancy that create the pathway. The progesterone that relaxes all of the muscles, that allows things to expand, even allows your pelvis and everything else like that to kind of like relax and expand. That's where the birthing hips come from. That term. It's like your body has like what seems like something should come from it, right? Like if I were to look down, like I don't know how. Like we do this all the time. Like I don't know how I'll push the baby out of there because you were fertile, you were abundant, because that's how things are born. Okay, it's seemingly impossible. Just something about this also being like I can't tell if the energy is saying once this happens, something very fertile and abundant comes your way. You become very fertile and abundant. So whatever this page of cups is, this could be the sense of like I don't have a pot to piss in, but they're going to move me out there. They'll give me a stipend to move me out, or the person, or the person that you come in contact with, that you like, as soon as you come in contact with them, things start happening in your life. Remember, I said it's going to go from nothing to seemingly fast and everything happening at once. The chariot card energy, like things just align. Whatever this page of cups is, that's the ignition switch for all this to happen. feel like pulling a couple cards for those where this is love, because I can definitely feel a resistance to love. Um, because of the Five of Pentacles. Like, just I can't wrap my brain around how that's gonna happen. I just heard, "I'm so frumpy." And somebody doesn't want the Maid in Manhattan kind of situation, like Captain Save-A-Ho coming in energy, and sorry, dropping things. Um, they can't wrap their brains around how it would look for love to enter their life at a time like this. King of Cups. He's got something he can pour into you. That sound a little, but you know what I mean. He's got something you need. Obviously, you're thinking more material. You're thinking, you're looking at your reality, your environment. I don't understand how that can blossom out of this. But again, seeds have already been planted, and a rose is sprouting in the middle of the desert. Okay, it can happen. And they're showing me the little tiny cloud that comes and pours into, and I feel like, again, there's this sense of, um if you feel like something is lacking in your life, this king would never even, it's not a source of contention. It's not a topic of focus. Um like, they would never highlight that to make it more of a sore spot for you. It's like, I'm gonna pay for all the meals because what I do. I'm going to come and pick you up because that's what we do. Like, um, I'm gonna I'm going to you're their focus, not your circumstances. Remember, they show up in integrity, you show up in integrity, and it's like, it's the idea of, like, I've known you for 2 months and we'll be together for the rest of our lives kind of energy. You see yourself or your situation like this, Five of Pentacles, they see you as the Empress. They see you as the Seven of Pentacles. You just haven't bloomed yet. So they'll be making the move. Two of Wands. Like, you might hold back, but they won't. Okay, anything else about that to help them? Son of a biscuit eater. Ooh! I'm also getting with the King of Cups the level of emotional maturity and empathy and understanding and a lack of judgment that this king has. This again, they're seeing you, not your circumstance, not your environment. They see you. And that's what's making them, and you're obviously, again, King of Cups doesn't pour into something. He is very discerning about what he pours his cup into. Very discerning. And he's choosing, because you're something that he, this sounds a certain way, you're something he wants, so he's choosing to take action towards you. Because Two of Wands is taking action towards your desire. But he's also a fucking King of Wands. On the motherfucking bottom, we got the lovers. So for some of you, it is. Wee-hoo. I also getting because somebody said frumpy, and so it's like when you can look at a person and they're at their most bare. No, I mean, I know I have no makeup on. I'm just saying, fuck like that. Focus, okay? Um, when they're just like, and it's like you can see because that's their baseline. You can see all the ways that they can be beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're beautiful as is, and so it can only get better. So whatever your Five of Pentacles frumpy is, they're like, you mean it can only go up from here? Like, fuck yeah. That's what it feels like. Like they liked the stripped down version because they're getting the real you, Knight of Pentacles. You're showing up completely as you, but also fucking okay with completely who you are. That is sexy. That is sexy. They love the what you see is what you get. They love that anything in addition to that is just that, an addition, a bonus. It's you know what I mean? Amplified you, like, oh, I like you as is. Anything else that makes you feel more alive is only going to amplify who you fuck yes. And that's what they like. That is what they really like. Ooh, I like this. King of Wands. King of Wands is singularly focused. Once he decides what he wants, he goes after it with gusto. I'm telling you, there's no distracting him. He's not distracted. Like he really does hone in. He's not the Knight of Wands. Shiny thing, shiny thing, shiny thing. Ooh, shiny thing, shiny thing, shiny thing. Ooh, shiny. Like he doesn't fucking do that. He does not do that shit. He would not, again, King of Cups, he is not going to disperse his energy like that. He is selective. And when he finds something that he likes, he hones in, he focuses, and he goes after it wholeheartedly. And he is the it is so card. If he decides something, it's pretty much done. Bet. Bet. With the Page of Swords, I am getting he wants to know you. Again, unconcerned with your circumstances, with the exception of how it's impacting you in the present moment. If it's getting in the way of you being you, that kind of thing. He does care about well-being, but it's not he cares about the person. But there is communication that's going to come through. That's how it's going to initiate. That's why it shows up like a page. And I said it advances very quickly to the night, but he's really a fucking king. Like it's like boom, 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 boom. He ramps it up quickly. This connection would ramp up quickly. Tell me about the Page of Swords, please. Again, what he sees is what he gets, and he. Okay, hold on. I heard hook, line, and sinker. Like you've hooked him. He's hooked. And I get this sense of whatever. Again, it's not Captain to Save a Hoe, but whatever is needed. King of Wands, I got it taken care of. Even if it's something that he doesn't have. You might be impressed with the level of his ability to do that. Because as the Empress, like sometimes we can get stuck in our Empress. I mean, you've been doing shit on your own. Things have been stripped. You're capable, like, but like, there's something about his ability to bring something into reality, to make something happen. You're like, motherfucker. So if there is something, like, I just feel like he could take care of it. And I don't mean like I've got money to throw around. He is solutions focused, action oriented, but much like any other masculine, he's not wasting his time on things that are not important. I can tell you that fucking much. So we have the Hanged Man with the Four of Wands and the Four of Swords. I just heard, would you take time out for me? Given that we have location change, this is either somebody at a distance or somebody that intends to move themselves. Because what I feel like is this ramps up quickly. Now we're moving on to the love idea of it versus a job or something like that. But it's like this is a situation where it ramps up quickly. Moving in together might be and people wouldn't question it because of the state of the world. Not that you give a fuck about anybody else, but you also aren't going to necessarily, even if people said something, some of y'all aren't going to catch any kind of flack. Nothing. People are just going to be like, okay. You know what I mean? But others, even if people did say something, again, the current state of like no one is really asking for permission right now in this world. We have a lot of authority figures that want us to believe that we have to conform. And right now, as it stands, there's a massive revolution happening of not conforming to other expectations or things that are being imposed upon you by others. And so with that energy, like same here, don't fucking care. Don't fucking care. Um and it's with zero intent. I'm going to tell you this much. The reason you're worried of Captain Save a Ho, I love that saying. He has zero intent to come in and swoop in and save you. He comes in because he sees you and he likes you. And when the two of you just, you know what I mean? It's like a natural no shit progression for him to be like, he would not just invite anybody into his environment. He doesn't pour his cup into just anybody. And I think that's the thing that you can't believe because with this kind of behavior and the ease of it and the way that it progresses, you think love bombing. Your brain does. You know him, like you can see him. He's not love bombing you. He's solutions oriented. If I already know, if I've already ramped it up, like this has gotten this serious this quickly, and I already know, remember, I've known you 2 months, and I'm gonna be with you for the rest of my life, kind of thing. When they show up in integrity and those types of individuals meet, they know exactly who one another is. When you do that with a person, if you don't match, you know right the fuck away. Isn't that amazing? People are like, oh, it takes 3 months. Not if people are showing up as themselves. The reason it takes 3 months is because why? They have masks. Two people that show up exactly as themselves, you know right the fuck away, yeah or no. You know what I mean? Like, you know. And when you stay just a little bit, you you see, and someone is like unzipping and they're like, this is all of me. The ease of melding and a lot like that's just it just happens quickly. You just fucking know. I understand in this world it's very difficult because a lot of fucking people aren't there. Whatever the fuck you've done, you are, and he is. So, um, when he shows up like this, and you realize that there's nothing love bomby about it. He's solutions focused. He gets things done. He does like you'll be able to tell immediately his level of discernment. Um, I want to say like he has standards, pretty high standards. Um, it's so everything is so self evident with this person. Their intentions, who they are, all of it. That it gives you're going to change your mind and feel a lot more peaceful about the coming together. We have the Hanged Man, which is a different perspective. Then we have the Four of Wands, which is the union card, which is the milestone card. It could be the moving in. Like once you're like, oh, this is ramping up quickly, you're gonna have utter peace of mind, Four of Swords, in regards to this coming together. You won't feel when it comes to that point like he's coming in to rescue you. You will feel like it's the natural, most appropriate, peaceful. Of course, why wouldn't we? And that is where this may be very unfamiliar. Again, you may be somebody who has had very quick, intense, connections, and it fizzled. That's what you're familiar with. You're being pulled out of the familiar. I want you to remember that. You're going to look at coming together and how people come together and come into union completely differently. You're going to look at this connection completely differently, Hangman, than you have any of them. And you're going to have complete, utter peace about the way the two of you go about this. So, the only reason you're looking at it the way you are right now is because you're on this side of it. I want to know timing probability of this. It's not going to feel that way once the two of you come together. And once you feel stripped down, it's like taking your human suit off and never being able to put it back on. There's that fucking Nine of Cups. It's everything you could have wished for and more. It's like too good to be true, but you know it's not. So, and I'm going to say this idea of the only reason you feel how you feel right now is because you're on this side of it, whether it's the job or a person or something like that. When it happens, you're going to have utter peace about it and a different perspective. You're going to see the level of integrity. You're going to see how this is a milestone in your life. It's the kind of milestone where it's like life before and life after. Three of Pentacles. It's the natural progression in building something together. The Three of Pentacles is the community being made real in your life. You will want to build together. It's the natural progression. Sun card is I don't care anything negative in this reading. This is made good by this. It's lessened. There's nothing negative about this. Leo might be important. We do have the strength card with the lion and the sun showing, and then we have this, and the fact that they brought my attention down to the strength card, so I have to acknowledge that. Um, you, they, something about, but the level of confidence in this, it's a fuck yes, is what it is. And I'd like to say it's blessed. And it's the exact thing that the idea of the Six of Pentacles is not what you get, but what you do with it, right? So sometimes it's looked at the resource card. It's looked like the thing that's missing that you need because it's on the heels of the Five of Pentacles. The thing that you lack, you finally get, and it's not so much that you get it. It's what you end up doing with this in your life. So if it's like getting help and assistance, it's like you too can be right. Um, however you invest and make choices and decisions with this determines the trajectory of your life, of where you're going. But it is some idea of taking advantage of this and making the most of it and capitalizing off of it. And you can do that with love. You can say, you know what? I'm going all in. I'm going to allow this connection to fuel what we build, to be an integral part of. And it's the idea of getting exactly what you need when you need it. So again, back to the idea of this is probably the most inopportune time. You're getting exactly what you need when you need it. So, alrighty, I think that's the read. I'm gonna leave it there. I hope. Let's see, if you're worried about where you're gonna land and how to make ends meet, it's understandable that love is far from the. You fuck yeah. Yep. Good afternoon, Daniel. That is starting over. Having more than a decade of work experience. Lord have mercy. Some days, I know I'm white, y'all. I know I'm white. Okay. Some days I get on here and I just look like I look amazing. And other days I look like a fucking ghost. It's because I'm sitting next to the fucking window, and I can't like I have to have regular natural light. I love the window. I used to have my desk over there, and it actually irritated me. Um. So, anyways, all right, that's that. I hope this is find whoever it's meant for. I hope everybody has a fantastic, wonderful day, and then I will see you at the next read. Have a great day.